Hello, Raw Food Rehab. I'm back with another evening of bedtime stories. It may not be evening where you are, but we're calling it bedtime stories in the Raw Rehab unit. So I'm just going to pick up where I left off last night. I had just finished telling you about Katie Hoppa's experience with the Raw Food Rehab, and for the sake of the book, we are referring to it as the Raw Food Cleanse Experiment. So just so you guys know, that's where I'm going with that. Let's see what happened with Bill Hoppa. Katie's husband Bill also had dramatic experience with the Raw Food Cleanse. At 52 years old, 5'7", and 235 pounds, Bill was hesitant about this way of eating. Yet he too was ready for a change. At the beginning of the experiment, he viewed eating this way, this raw food diet, as extreme and countercultural. Certainly not something that one could realistically maintain for any length of time. Read along as Bill shares his experience. The past 10 weeks has been such a positive experience because of the absence of cravings. Both weight loss and overall health benefits such as lowered blood pressure, tighter, firmer skin, more energy, strength, endurance, and improved concentration were noticeable in a very short amount of time. It just seemed that these improvements were automatic benefits that simply happened by themselves as a result of the lifestyle change. Now remember, Bill and Katie were 100% raw. Every other diet that I had tried in the past gave me a sense of being on a temporary, deprivation-oriented, unnatural, forced way of eating. Love that. This has been one of the top 5 most transformational experiences of my life. For the first time since emerging from my mother's womb, I am not preoccupied and controlled by food, hunger, cravings, addictions, and all the other horrible consequences of the standard American diet. Hallelujah. I thought people who ate this way were unnecessarily fanatical and misinformed. Through personal education and experience, my eyes have been opened and my life has been transformed. I can now see, taste, and feel the positive experience, the positive difference in real, whole, natural, organic, and raw foods. In the past, every moment was focused on when I would enjoy my next morsel. Now, I use my every morsel to enhance my ability to enjoy my next moment. Tectonic plates have shifted. I now eat to live rather than live to eat. Since Katie, Jen, and I did this experiment as a team, it has brought us closer together as a family. The outcome of this bonding experience is equally as significant as the 32 pounds I lost in the process. Now my primary concern is relationship rather than food. One of my new life missions is to bring raw food to real people. Of course, by now you're probably wondering what happened to Jen. Even though Jen had been a vegetarian for over half of her life, that didn't mean that she kept a meticulously healthy watch over every morsel she put into her mouth. As many know, it's possible to be a vegetarian and still not be totally healthy. Here are some of her observations from the experiment. Prior to trying the raw food cleanse, I was taking lots of naps and feeling generally sluggish. I would get tired at work, which would affect my performance and dampen my mood. Since eating a very high raw foods diet, I now have improved clarity and focus. Although I was not taking it regularly, I did have a prescription for Adderall to help with my ADD tendencies. Surely Jen doesn't have ADD. This way of eating helped me to focus with more intent and motivation. I think I've taken 1 nap in the past 3 months. I also sleep better and feel more rejuvenated after sleeping than I ever did before. Another benefit was improvement in my bowel function. I've generally never had a lot of BMs, maybe 1 a day or maybe none at all. This has always bothered me, and although I've tried increasing my fiber many times, I've never had changed results. Eating a high raw diet increased my BMs to a comfortable level of regularity that I had never experienced before. It has helped me to feel much lighter and clean. I think the 80-20 model is both ideal for my body, but also perfect to help me deal with cravings, social events, and traveling. If you try to do 100% raw all the time, then any slip-up can be interpreted as failure. If you end up only eating 80% one day, then there's no guilt. If you eat more than 80% raw, there's a feeling of accomplishment. The 80-20 model is really helpful for me for long-term success. If something is not attainable, people will not do it. I feel so amazed after eating a high raw diet. There's no way I'm going to let myself relapse back into a world of fatigue and poor health. I want raw to be a lifestyle for me, and I see it as the perfect way to maintain my weight loss. Jen lost 14 pounds during the 11 weeks that she participated in the research experiment. The Hoppas continue to maintain this healthy way of eating, along with following many of the lifestyle principles for ageless health. That's Chapter 7. Jen is maintaining her weight loss, and Bill and Katie continue to lose towards their ultimate goals. Dawn, 42, Pleasant Valley, New York. Since making the decision to eat a high raw diet, including green smoothies and juicing, I feel like I've taken my body and my life back. The fog has lifted from my brain, and I feel vibrant, happy, and excited to live each day. I've had annoying spotting in between my periods for years and years. Since I've been committed to the raw food cleanse, I've hardly experienced any symptoms at all. Also very heavy, clotty periods with severe cramps, but during my last cycle, I noticed things were much less painful and not nearly as heavy. This breakthrough and the 14 pounds that I lost are reason enough to continue to eat a high raw diet for the rest of my life. It just feels like the natural thing to do. Anna, 35, Barrie, Ontario. You know Anna is banana on raw food rehab. I've always struggled with my health. As a child, I generally spent 1 to 2 weeks in the hospital every year with pneumonia, tonsillitis, or a horrible bout of the flu. I've also been challenged with a few autoimmune disorders. I added to the complexity of my compromised constitution by taking up a few destructive habits in my early adult years, like smoking, caffeine consumption, undereating, overeating, or just eating poorly, poor sleep habits, and burning the candle at both ends. We've all been there, at least in some of those areas, I know. Over time, the cumulative effect of my challenged health and lifestyle choices caught up with me, and it became clear that I had to make some serious changes. Food seemed to be the most obvious aspect to change, so I started there. However, it wasn't easy, and it did not happen overnight. When you start caring about what you eat, it is an act of self-love and self-preservation, which ultimately spills over into other areas of your life. I love that. Changing my diet has not only helped me to lose 12 pounds so far, but it has brought such relief. I now feel like I've found real answers and a way out of the vicious cycle I was in. Not only has my physical health improved, but my mental well-being has greatly been impacted as well. My choices have affected everyone around me. My children now love smoothies and love to taste different raw food recipes. They've even started to pay attention to how certain foods make them feel. My husband has started asking me questions about his health, and finally, he's agreed to go in for his first ever physical. I hosted a dinner party for all my friends that included a number of raw food dishes, and they were amazed at how delicious everything was. I hope to continue to be an ambassador of positive change within my sphere of influence, sharing the message of how food can affect your health and healing. It's awesome. Barbara, 45, Silver Spring, Maryland. The raw food cleanse has brought so many positive changes to my life. Saying goodbye to dairy products and gluten-containing foods has been a huge aspect of my restored health. No more gas and bloating. Hallelujah. Also, my blood pressure went from being borderline to being well within the normal range. Incorporating more raw foods into my diet has helped me to love myself more, putting me in closer touch with the world around me. They say you are what you eat, and I believe it's so true. Before I learned about raw foods, I was rushed, always choosing packaged foods that were full of artificial ingredients. Now I appreciate nature's bounty and find joy in something as simple as a fresh tomato. Every time I choose to eat raw, I am deciding to be kind to my body. This is a huge breakthrough. It's like my diet before was self-abusive. I am truly grateful to have found this life-restoring path. I'll leave it on that. I love this so much. I hope you all are enjoying your bedtime stories. Now everybody get tucked in. Sweet dreams, and I'll see you tomorrow.